As discussed in the previous episode, we learned how media had emerged thousands of years ago from cave paintings and clay tablets to the creation of the printing press and slowly into the discovery of radio technology. Whether through print media such as newspapers and books, to broadcast media such as radio and television, we see how these are ubiquitous and can still be found everywhere, in homes and in public institutions. However, the rise of digital technologies paved the way for an entirely new realm of media, new media. Today's episode discusses the emergence, history, and types of new media. How do we define new media? First, we must discuss the shift from analog media to digital media. Analog media are created by encoding or storing information onto a physical object. This must then be paired with another device that can read the information encoded on that physical object. A vinyl record is an example of analog media. The information encoded on it are the songs that are physically carved onto it, and the additional device needed to read that information is a vinyl player. One can only hear music if the vinyl is played on a vinyl player. But what happened to vinyl records? Although they are still widely popular for their aesthetic value, and because vintage became a trend, they are no longer the most common way to listen to music. Rather, it is more likely you would encounter someone with all their favorite songs saved on their mobile phone. The information of these songs are now stored as MP3 files. MP3 files are examples of digital media. Digital media are composed of numerical codes. The information of these media are encoded in numbers, most commonly the binary code. So what exactly is new media? Is new media the same as digital media? Lev Monovich argued that thinking of new media as simply digital is just half the story. To put it into perspective, the dawn of digital media gave rise to new media, the result of a convergence between the computational logic of computers and the communicative logic of media. The production of new media is a result of the convergence of technology and media, presentation and video display formats, or digitalized formats. Other key factors of new media include providing connectivity and sociality. This type of connectivity is different from the connectivity of mass media like television or radio. Mass media is still a one-way communication channel. This means that communication comes from one omnibus source and is then spread to a large number of people. New media paved the way for a more personal relationship with the media. Media here becomes a two-way street. The viewer is no longer just passively consuming the media, but is given the opportunity to comment on the content, share it with others, and even generate their own content. The basis of this connectivity is none other than the internet. The internet connects individual smartphones, computers, laptops, and other devices in an interactive web. Furthermore, the use of the connective nature of the internet to collaborate, create, and harness collective intelligence is referred to as Web 2.0. Web 2.0 refers to using the internet to collaborate on projects and solve problems rather than simply making and protecting one's own media. The idea of the internet was first recorded in 1962 by J.C.R. Licklider of MIT, who was exploring the galactic network concept. According to Liner, he envisioned a globally interconnected set of computers through which everyone could quickly access data and programs from any site. In spirit, this concept was very much like the internet today. Internet access expanded in the 1980s onwards and had massive expansions upon its commercialization, mostly used by professionals for email. By the 1990s, the public gained access and the users and web pages expanded. From 1 million internet users and around 50 web pages in 1992, there are over 4.5 billion internet users as of 2020, with over 1.7 billion websites. From a way to message people through email, the internet expanded into social media and other forms of connectivity into Web 2.0. New media causes users to play a more active role in choosing, publishing, commenting, linking, and reading online content. This shift from passive media consumption to active use and participation counteracts the linear logic of media. New media gave leeway for users to create their own media content and be able to share it easily. Thus, there are multiple sources of content communicating with one another and they are engaged in dialogue rather than the one-sided monologue of mass media. There are two kinds of new media: totally new forms of media and older forms of media that have been improved upon. Old media and new media are interconnected because new media simply builds off of old media and grows at the expense of old media. Going back to our vinyl records, the digitalized MP3 files stored on mobile devices and streaming services might be a more convenient way to listen to music. More examples of these include ebooks, online news outlets, podcasts, and more. Have any idea which is the most used social networking site? That's right, Facebook. With over 2.7 billion users, it has become an online staple to people's social lives. In the Philippines alone, as of January 2020, we have over 73 million users. That's over 72% of the entire population. Other forms of new media are websites. These are the interlinked web pages that have allowed us access to the vastness of information online. From organizational websites to government websites and educational websites, each portal provides us with specific information concerned with the institution it came from. To conclude, we see that media has grown greatly over time and has helped people communicate. From print media to broadcast media and into new media, the growth of traditional media to new media changed the way we communicate. From a one-way street, we now have more avenues to interact with others and communicate online. As we continue to engage in the information age and use the internet, we may ask, what's the point in knowing all this? While the landscape of media is complex, one simple truth remains. We all have a responsibility to keep the online world safe and truthful.